Hello, educators! By the end of this video, you will understand the general information that you need to know to pass the RICA Subtest 1. To read the full blog post or check out any of the resources presented in this video, click the links in the description below or simply visit ricatest.com, the official test prep site for the RICA test. The RICA Subtest 1 structure is broken into two domains, which include Domain 2, that covers word analysis, and Domain 3, which covers fluency. Between the two domains, there are 7 competencies, which include phonological and phonemic awareness, concepts about print, letter recognition, and the alphabetic principle, phonics and sight words, syllabic analysis, structural analysis, and orthographic knowledge, and fluency, and the factors that affect the development of fluency. Subtest 1 includes approximately 35 multiple choice questions, as well as 2 constructed response questions, one from Domain 2 and one from Domain 3. The constructed response question covering Domain 2, which is word analysis, requires a 150 to 300 word response, and the constructed response question that covers Domain 3 requires a 75 to 125 word response. Each multiple choice question is designed with 4 possible answers per question, and it's important to note that most often there are 2 sound solutions, but it's your job to select the best possible answer. Remember that there's no penalty for guessing, so give each problem your best shot. Lastly, make sure to read the entire problem quickly yet thoroughly. The typical essay problem includes a description of a child's reading strength and/or need, along with supplementary information, and asks the test taker, you, to describe, discuss, analyze, explain, or evaluate the child's reading ability, and then craft a solution based on the information given from the problem in order to help the student become a stronger reader. The best strategy to prepare for the constructed response questions for all of the RICA subtests, including subtest 3, where you'll face the case study, is to be able to identify the student's reading need presented in the problem and then select an appropriate instructional strategy. In our online and self-paced RICA test course, which we'll further introduce shortly, we call this the "If this need, use this instructional strategy" method, which I will show you an example in the slides coming up. Critical to your success in writing a passing response is understanding how to define the need. So, which is, what is it? How to teach the need. So the understanding of the specific instructional strategy, how to assess for the reading need, and to test the instructional strategy if it was successful in teaching the student the new skill, and then also knowing how to differentiate instruction to meet the needs of all of our learners, such as struggling learners, English learners, and also advanced learners. The scoring of the RICA, let's go first with multiple choice. That's calculated electronically, whereas a trained person judges the overall effectiveness of your response based on the RICA content specifications for the constructed response questions. Now, let's have a look at the type of information you'll have to know about each of the 7 competencies within the RICA Subtest 1. In order to do that, we've actually taken out slides from our online self-paced RICA course to give you a preview of what that looks like. We're going to focus on one of the competencies, that one being phonics and sight words, specifically phonics. And this online course is the best way to learn material presented in the RICA course in order to pass your test. If you're interested in learning more about that course, just click on the direct link to enroll in the course using the link in the description below, or check out all of our resources at ricatest.com. Now, here we are at the cover page for Domain 2, which is word analysis, which in total covers phonological and phonemic awareness, concepts about print, letter recognition, and the alphabetic principle, phonics and sight words, syllabic analysis, structural analysis, and orthographic knowledge. Now, there's a lot in Domain 2, and we're going to cover 1, which is phonics, here to give you a snippet of what the online course looks like and to give you a preview of what the kind of information you need to know in order to pass your test. So let's go. Here we are, phonics and sight words, which are competency 5 and 6. Again, here we're going to be focusing on phonics. Now, phonics is the instruction used to teach children the association between the sounds of letters and their written symbols. Take that letter block, for example, we know that the letter is a capital or big B, but we not only recognize it, we also know that a B, big or small, make the B sound. Now, when a child correctly connects the sound of a letter to the symbol of the letter, they have demonstrated an understanding of phonics. So that's the what it is. Remember the defining point in the first part. Remember what it is, how to teach it, how to assess it, and how to differentiate instruction for it. That was the first part, what it is, meaning how to define it. Now, let's go on to the next section. Here we are at the online course. We not only give you the surface level of all of the competencies, we really go deeper. And within all of the competencies, phonics included, there are always key terms. Now, if you want to read this further, you can pause the video and read each of these. We're not going to go into this because this is a preview, but make sure that you understand the key terms for all of the competencies, including phonics. Furthermore, one of the advantages to our online test course is that the information you need to know is directly and explicitly taught in a non-fluff type of format, so you don't have to search through a book to discover the key ingredients that will help you pass the test. They're just given to you. Within phonics, there are clear stages of spelling development, which include pre-communicative, semi-phonetic, phonetic, transitional, and conventional. Pre-communicative is the most basic stage, whereas conventional is the highest. And again, you're going to want to know those stages as well as what they mean. The absolute most important section of the RICA test is the understanding and ability to write about and describe an instructional strategy for each competency. Here, we continue with our example of phonics, where if you receive a multiple choice question or a constructed response question on your RICA test regarding phonics, you'll want to use the whole to part instructional strategy. Notice that instructional strategy is labeled in yellow at the top, and all of our instructional strategies are labeled clearly so that you can take what we've written and apply the information to your own test. After you've presented your instructional strategy for how to teach a lesson that covers a certain need or competency on your RICA test, you'll then be asked to provide your take on how you would assess the student or students to check whether or not they learned the skill that you just taught them. For phonics, as this is our example, you start in isolation and then you end in context, which is the most difficult for students, yet it's the most critical and most important for a teacher to check. Writing these small details that are covered in our online course will give you the tips and tricks that you can directly use in your own RICA test, again, in order to ensure that you gain more points, whether that is on the multiple choice section or the essay constructed response section. We understand that taking the RICA test can feel overwhelming, and that's why we like our online course so much, because the information is finally presented in a simple to read and easy to learn format that provides everything that you need to know in order to pass the test. Here on this slide, we discuss how to differentiate instruction to meet the needs of all of the learners in our classrooms. Here for struggling readers, what you want to do is focus on key phonics as well as high frequency words. You want to slow down the pace of instruction, reteach skills that are lacking, use concrete examples, and provide additional practice. For our English learners, use transferable knowledge from their first language and explicitly teach sounds and meanings that do not transfer. Next, for our advanced learners, we want to increase the pace of instruction as well as the complexity of the assignments that we give. And then we also want to build on to our students' existing knowledge and skills. Everyone, there's really so much to learn for each subtest. And yet, if you're ready, pick up a copy of our RICA Subtest study guide, which is the best way to assess your understanding of the RICA test material. It includes practice questions to quiz yourself, as well as an answer key to check your answers. These are sold separately, subtest 1, 2, and 3, on our website, ricatest.com, and they're sold as a digital download, which means you receive instant access upon purchasing it, so you can get straight to studying. Yet, if you still need to pass all 3 of the subtests, we recommend save time and money by just going with our official study guide for the RICA test, which covers subtests 1, 2, and 3 in one digital download. Instead of getting each subtest separately, just go with the whole package. We give you a discount. However, if you don't feel totally confident about the RICA test material itself yet, take our online course. It's self-paced, and it's the best way to learn the material that you'll need in order to pass the test. So again, Our online course is the best way to learn the material for the RICA test, whereas our study guide is the best way to assess your understanding of the material presented in the RICA test. Now, our best, most complete, and most discounted offering is our bundle package, which is a combination of both our study guide, our complete study guide for subtests 1, 2, and 3, as well as our online course. So you can take our online course, you can follow along with the study guide, and when you're ready, quiz yourself using the study guide practice questions. We say that there's nothing worse than getting your test result email, opening it up, and finding out that you need to restart your entire study process all over again. So, folks, just go ahead, get the bundle, nail this RICA test out on your first try. The links to all of the materials mentioned in this video are in the description below, as well as at ricatest.com, which is the official test prep site for the RICA test.